Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is 9 February 2022, and we're at the meeting of the Eastern Essex District Veterans Board of Directors. And I believe we have a quorum. So, Karen, let me see. Do we have any citizen inquiries going by the agenda here? I'm acting chair for this meeting because our chairman, Bob Snow, is unable to attend tonight. Do we have any citizen queries? Going once, going twice?
Doesn't look
Apparently
like.
not.
Okay.
We have minutes to the meeting for December 1st, 2022. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
December 2021. December 1st, 2021.
Well, no, that's right. It is 21,
Yeah.
not 22.
I'm not there yet.
I didn't catch that either. You know what? Because we would have already been done with this year. Here we go.
Soon enough. It'll be soon enough.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, minutes for 12/1,
Motion to
2021. Maybe that's
Motion to
why
accept
we
the
didn't have any
minutes
concerns.
as
Yeah.
written.
Okay, one person at a time, please.
Motion to accept the minutes.
So I think in those minutes, if I recall, I can't, I'm having trouble opening them right now, but were we unable to approve October, was it September minutes that we couldn't approve in December because we didn't have a quorum?
Yes, September 15th was tabled.
So do we have enough people here to approve those as well?
Well, we do, but there's been a
Oh, it's-
concern by some that they don't have the minutes in front of them to re-review.
All right, and it's not on our agenda either. The only minutes to approve on the agenda are December, I guess. So we should make a note for our next meeting to
Yeah.
approve.
Right. Yeah, I had asked Karen already to put that on our next meeting.
Okay,
Okay, so what the business at hand is the meeting minutes from December 1st, 2021. So I'm assuming that everybody has had the opportunity to review them. We have a motion to accept those minutes. Do we have a second?
second,
I will say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Eileen?
Let's see. Mr. Flynn,
Mike Flynn is abstaining. I had technical issues and was unable
did he freeze for everybody else too?
Mike
You
froze up.
froze.
to participate at that meeting, so I'm going to abstain.
Okay. Mr. Janes,
Yes, I vote to approve.
Bob
Mr.
James,
Doyle,
Yes, I
Okay.
vote to
Hello?
approve.
all right, I heard Mr. Janes and I heard Mr. Doyle, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mr. Dawes,
yes.
Ms. Alexson,
yes. Excuse me, yes.
Yes. Okay, so that, if I heard that right, we have 4 yes and 1 abstention? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, before we move on to the next agenda item, I just want to point out, and I emailed Karen about this earlier, that for some reason, our minutes are not showing up as posted on at least the town of Ipswich's website or the district's website. So the only minutes I was able to find on the district's website were for the year 2020. So I think we need to, follow up on that and find out what the process is and make sure that all these minutes get posted to the various websites.
Yeah, good point. Karen, what's your policy and how do you guys go about doing that?
So I believe, so what I'll do is make sure that Leah gets it because I believe she's the one in charge of the Ipswich, and I'll contact the other
Okay.
towns to see who's in charge over at those towns. And I will get trained on how to put it up on our website.
Okay. I was just
So-
afraid,
Okay,
yeah, I wasn't looking in the right place, but I tried a couple of times. I wasn't able to
yeah,
find.
yeah, they need to be posted to all the websites.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and do
So,
that.
so where would you get training for that, Karen?
I have to contact Civics Plus, which is the.
I'm sorry,
website.
yeah, who?
Civic Plus is the website that we
Mhm.
use.
Okay,
So I'll call over there and see if there'd be somebody to help, where I could try to get training from Leah or somebody else that uses that website. I think a lot of the towns use Civics Plus,
Right.
so
right,
yeah, I'll make sure that gets done.
okay, and then, do we have any type of a service agreement with them, whether you can get any help, the technical help you need for, as part of the cost of the site?
Yep, so I'll call over there and they'll have someone to help run through it with me, so.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm not worried about that, I'll get it done.
So one other question, and this
Okay.
is really, Karen, I'm just questioning the process, like where do the minutes go after they're approved, you know? Do you have contacts at each of the, I mean, you have to post these on each of the towns in the district on their websites as well as the Eastern Essex District website?
So what I'll do is I'll contact the town clerk. Because because that's who I contact to post the meeting. So when we have a meeting, I send it to each of their town clerks to put it on the town website.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I didn't know if there was, you know, if maybe once you posted them to the district website, if there's sort of a link that could go to each of the towns in the district so that you're not doing a lot of that legwork. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if there's that much technology that it would work that seamlessly, but just a thought.
A lot of things in Newbury just go up on YouTube right away. So I'm sure we could do the same thing and it would cover us legally. Have an Ipswich, Essex County website for YouTube and just put them up automatically. It's real easy to do.
Talking about the paper minutes, you know, the printed
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, okay, I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah, not so much the videos.
Not the meeting, not the videos. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't each of the towns have a link to the district website on their websites, which would allow?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I know Georgetown does.
Yeah,
Newbury does.
Right. Yeah, and where I was, Karen Summit today was the town of Ipswich has a section of their website that's agendas and minutes for all of the different committees and boards. And so, anybody could go to that section and look up, select board or planning board or whatever, and click,
Yeah.
What meeting they're looking for and get the agenda and the minutes if the minutes have been posted.
gotcha.
That's what
Gotcha. I think we also use Civic Plus, and I think for that to happen, you have to have access to post on the website. Probably each of the departments has that ability.
Yeah.
So maybe there's an administrative person that could do that for Karen.
Right. And that's why I'm questioning the process, because
Yeah.
this is different where, there's 6 different towns here. So gets a little more complicated. And
Right.
Right.
so anyway, okay, well, thank you.
Okay. So we
Or
already did
could
the
there
roll
be a
call on that.
reference on the- Just speaking out loud, could there be a reference linking back to Karen's website? Not reinventing the wheel 6 or 7 times. Just a thought.
Yeah, so as you know, if you go to any of the town websites and you click on veteran services, it comes right over. And then on my website, I also have, like, at the top, I have each of the towns. And you click up there and it goes to your town website. But I understand what you're saying, Linda, with having it on each of the towns' websites. Just to make it easy for citizens if they wanted to go and look at the minutes.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm fine with however it is that you guys want to do it. I just want to
Right,
make sure,
yeah,
you know,
right. I
people
think
use-
technically they're supposed to be posted.
Yes, they are supposed to be, and especially on the district website, because the only ones I could find were for 2020. I found nothing for 2021 or 2019 or before that, so
Okay,
we have to
all right,
address.
so that'll get taken care of.
Great, thank
All
you.
right, moving on to financials. It's all
So,
yours, Karen
thank you.
and
Does
Karen.
everyone have their three documents in front of them? Their budget versus actuals, profit and loss, and balance sheet?
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
we're actually in very good financial shape because with Kathy leaving, that freed up a lot of money that had previously been budgeted. So I don't really think that there's any areas that, we're going to have any significant shortfalls in. Karen, do you know of any upcoming expenses that would put us over what was budgeted?
Well, we had to get a new print copier fax machine. And so, and I spoke with Bob about it. Our machine was so old that when we called for service, they didn't have any of the parts, or it was purchased, I don't know how long ago, but much before my time. And so I contacted the Ipswich IT department, and they referred me to a gentleman over at Monaco. And speaking with him, he suggested the copier that we did get. And he is a government specialist, like it's all state bidded, and that's where other towns, they go through him and this organization to get their copiers. And so that being said, we have a new copier, and the lease is $120 a month. And it's leased for 5 years.
Did you ever talk to them about them billing us quarterly, Karen?
Yeah, so they're going to make a note of it that, they're still going to do the monthly bill, but they know that they're going to be paid quarterly.
Okay. So it looks like in looking at the budget versus actuals, it does look like under office equipment, there's a pretty big balance left. Do you have things that you're planning to purchase there? I know we've used that before for purchasing computers and laptops, none of which I think we've done this year. So do you think the balance left, the 980, will be sufficient to cover that?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we're doing good. That was the only machine that was ancient. So
Yeah.
I don't anticipate anything coming up.
So, and then if we take a look at the profit and loss, we're doing just fine. We're right on schedule with that. It doesn't, it's the middle of the year, so we're not looking at any final numbers on that. And then in the balance sheet, we've collected all of our receivables. We are in good shape. We've had some donations that Karen has collected in the last couple of months. There's a separate sheet on those. I think most of them, with the exception of the $500 that's for the bridge, are unrestricted. Is that correct, Karen?
That's correct.
So that's, something the board may want to keep in mind. And, financially, we're doing very well. Does anyone have questions?
Do we know where the donations came from other than the bridge?
Yes. So Rich Barbado, his father, passed away, and they put out, in lieu of flowers, that they could donate to our department. So that's where the majority of that came from.
Okay, great. And did we send them a
And then,
thank you note?
yeah, and the $500 was from the Salem VFW. And that goes towards the bridge. Yes, I did send
Fine.
out thank you letters to each of the people who donated. Yep.
Thank you.
So any other
Okay.
questions for me?
No, I mean, it all looks okay, right?
Yeah, that most
Mr.
definitely, most definitely.
Mr. Snow just joined us. Hi, Bob.
Hi,
Oh,
Mike.
hi, Bob.
How are you?
Good, how you
Yes,
doing?
Good.
I snuck in the back door.
Welcome,
Okay.
Bob.
Well then, sir, I'll acquiesce my seat to you.
No, you're doing a great job, Doug. We had a Rotary meeting and I stole a plate of food from American Barbecue and I bolted out the back door, so, and I came into the back
Okay.
door here, so there's dinner.
Okay. Well, have fun, enjoy.
Doing a good job, Doug. I'm right behind you.
Okay. So we've covered the budget versus actuals, profit loss balance and donations. So we're in pretty good shape, Karen, right? Okay. So then we would then move on to do we need to approve these, Bob? Do we need to approve the financials?
Yes, I think we should.
So can I just ask a
Okay.
question first? On one of the documents that came through earlier in the week, the FY22 versus FY23 budget. Karen, what I'm talking about? It's a PDF and it's a couple of the columns are colored.
Right, that's the one
Yep.
Karen's going to discuss next.
Oh, okay. And I'll wait.
That's for next fiscal year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we can go on to the, we need a motion to approve the financials as presented.
So
Motion
moved.
motion approved.
Okay, I hear a motion and do we need a second?
Second,
Who seconded it?
Mike Flynn.
Okay, and Linda moved the question, so. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
All right, Ms. Alexson,
Yes.
Mr. Dawes,
Yes,
Mr. Doyle,
Yes,
Mr. Flynn,
Yes,
Mr. Janes,
Yes,
Mr. Snow.
Because I came in the middle of it or the behind, I'm gonna just abstain from the vote, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
okay. All right. Great, thank you. So now we'll move on to the budget and Karen Tyler, it's all yours.
All right. So so everybody got the attachments. And
Right.
so, all right, let's.
Which
look
one
at-
are you doing first?
I was thinking doing the line item first.
Okay,
All right, so if I do share my screen, see if that happens. Can you guys see the screen?
yeah, well, good, now I don't have to strain looking over the top of this laptop.
Okay. All right, so I mean, over the years, I've always, I'm sorry? Okay, I thought somebody was talking, sorry. Oh, I'm getting that
I
feedback.
think we have an echo.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Somebody has their computer speaker on.
Okay, how's this?
If we can all mute while Karen's talking, then unmute if we have a question.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
Okay. All right, much better. Sorry, that's so just so distracting. Okay. So, so I'll just go through line by line, I guess. So our accounting software is with QuickBooks. Every year I've contacted them to see if they would give us a discount. And I've been able to get away with it a couple of times by asking, oh, can you give us the same cost as if we were a new person coming on. And so that's why it's previously been less. For instance, last year it was, or 2021, it was $395, but I've always budgeted $775 for it. They did say that it was going to go up a little bit. And it looks like this year we are going to have to pay the appropriate price. And so the bank charges, I mean, that's nothing. Dues and subscriptions, that's stayed the same. I don't see anything going up in that. I've stayed under budget. Education, 2021, obviously wasn't able to go to training, and everything was online when we did have training. I do know that, so next week I am going to be going to a training. So there is going to be a cost to the training and that I go next week. And I also did training over at the Northeast Regional High School took a class there. So those types of things fall under the training and education. The retirement, it is what it is. I get the assessment from the retirement board. Insurance, that's been the same. I've always, it's come into, it does look, I apologize. It does look from the financials that we got today, that the insurance was a little over. It was, what was it? $684. And I had $650. So if you want, I can bump that up a little. Let's see. Legal and professional fees, that's stayed the same.
Karen, just a question on that insurance, not the workers' comp line, but the one above it. What insurance is that?
So that is property liability insurance.
Okay.
All right. And so the legal fees, hopefully we don't have to use it. We've, done well in the past. It's just been there because in case we do need it, we want to make sure that we have it.
And is that, I'm sorry, is that the audit fees also? I think at our last meeting, we were talking about the audit.
Correct. And I've put a few calls out to Jim Powers, and I haven't been getting a response. So, I mean, I can just keep hammering. Maybe Bob, if you want to try contacting him also, maybe as the chairman of the board, he might listen to you more. That's all I can, that's all I can think of to try to get him to respond.
Who's that, Karen, again?
Jim Powers, Powers and Sullivan.
Sure, certainly. Will do.
So, all right. So Medicare, just bumped it a little bit. The network technology, we have our network through GoDaddy, our emails, our domain. We did have to, we just upgraded to Windows 365. because we had Windows 2010 and they stopped, you can't use that anymore. So I am going to be receiving a bill for, I think it's $127. And so that will take care of, Word, Outlook, Excel, all that.
I have a question for you, Karen,
Sure.
on the copier lease.
Yeah.
How much did you say that was a month?
So the lease is 120 a month. And then if you go over a certain amount, they charge you like 0.005 for black and white. And so
So is
he says
that the extra,
yeah,
from 1440 to 1600, that counts for that possible overage?
that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
So the office equipment stayed level, along with the expenses, supplies, payroll processing. That's all been consistent. Postage, our lease, our rent is the same. And then with the Social Security, having the new part-time person, she gets Social Security rather than retirement. So that's a new one. And our telephone, we are on Ipswich for the main line, and then I have a cell phone. The telephone and website, because we got rid of the landline, or we transferred it, we also paid off the, because we had that $1,000 a year for a couple of years because we switched over to Civics Plus and they had to build the website. And so that's all done. So now it's just the yearly fee. Travel stayed the same, obviously, the past 2 years. I haven't traveled anywhere, but that's something that's changed. I also have gone back to doing office hours in each of the towns. And I try not to do like home visits and stuff, always do like contact lists. Anytime, like for instance, when I dropped off, me and Karen went around and we delivered the meals and stockings and stuff. So we drove around to all the towns and we contacted them. We said, hey, the food's here, you can pick it up. So, and that was that was a really great day to be able to do that. Definitely the highlight of that time around Christmas. All right. So the health insurance, so we have the 2 retirees and they get their retirement health insurance through Ipswich and life insurance through Hamilton. And so previously, I did knock it down because previously it was over budgeted. So I did estimate a 5% increase over what it was previously. And so we're putting in, until we find out what the actual number is going to be, it's just an estimate. And the retirees, their health insurance is calendar year versus fiscal year. So it's, it's a little unknown, but I don't think it's going to be anything too different. It doesn't really go up or down too much for the retarees. And then so for health insurance, I'm the only one that receives health insurance because I'm full-time employee versus part-time. And I estimated a 7% increase. I get my health insurance through Newbury. And speaking with the treasurer over there, she said that she will contact me after they get the numbers, but they don't have the numbers yet. So we don't know how much it's gonna be.
Karen,
Yep,
just, I'm always confounded by numbers these days, but it costs $21,000 for health insurance?
yes, it's a family plan.
That's for like you and your daughter.
Yep. And so if you want to talk
Wow.
to someone about having an employee plus one versus a family plan, I would
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, okay, all right,
If I
that's
had
right,
3 kids, I'd be paying the same.
right. Unbelievable.
Just on that, that was $17.50 a month. And that wouldn't include whatever contribution you make on your own, right, Karen?
I'm sorry. So yes,
So that, wow. Okay, that's a lot, I think. Because
And Linda, those rates are gonna continue to go up. We've
yeah, I know.
We've seen the trend being equally as disturbing on a couple of boards I sit on, so
Uh,
it's the way of the world.
That just boggles my mind. I mean, that's 21,000 that the district is paying, and then whatever Karen pays, whatever the cost sharing is on her end. That's just amazing.
The
It is,
21,000
I mean,
is a 70% split.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I mean. So it's probably, what, 24,000 or something per year for a family plan.
I know.
amazing.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But yeah. Don't get me going on health insurance. It's just, it is what it is, right? Okay, so yeah, for the salaries, I did a 2% increase, which is standard. With the part-time, I am requesting 2.5. She's doing an awesome job. She got hired on at $19. So this will bring her up to, I think, $19.38. So, I mean, it's up to you guys, but I think it's reasonable.
Karen, I think that's very reasonable. I would ask that you, with inflation continuing to shoot through the roof, you keep perhaps a bigger number in mind for the following year. Inflation it's just rampant, and whether it gets under control or not, I think out of fairness, in the following years, you should think a little higher number. Just is my nickel. Thank you.
So I just want to put my thought into that, and that, we're asking all of our departments to keep it to 2%. Unless there's extenuating, if somebody's woefully below the average for what they do, that might be something that's considered. But I think, I don't know what you other towns are doing, but I think for the most part, we're trying to keep it at 2%. And how many hours a week is she working, Karen?
19.
So the 25,000 at $19.38 an hour, I don't think that I'm getting.
Linda, I'm not questioning this year. I'm just saying if inflation continues, when we think about following years, that 2% may have to be a different number. I'm just asking, not this year we're budgeting, but years out, it may be, we may have to think about a different number. Just the inflation perspective is extremely daunting, but not to this year, but for out years as Karen thinks about it. That was my only point.
So my question is, at 19 hours a week, even at the increase to 19.38 an hour, I'm coming up with slightly under 20,000. So I'm wondering why we're budgeting 25,000.
So the reason for that is if, for instance, when I go to the training and stuff, if she's available, if she could stay in the office for the entire day,
Okay.
rather than just the 5 hours. And so it's more for office coverage. And also at certain times a year, for instance, and she's learning this now, is that so we do recertifications every year. So Karen's going to be doing chapter 115. We do recertifications every year in January, and the amount of time and work and also communication with the veterans, surviving spouses and their families is really big. And so, you know, again, if she's available,
Okay.
if she could work more hours. So that's why it's higher.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. And then the other two stayed the same. The temporary is, you know, like for the minutes taker, and if somebody did cover phones, I don't think that's really going to happen now that we have Karen, but if there was a reason why we both had to be out of the office, if there was, again, the biggest thing is training. So, you know, we always want to take any opportunity to get training, but so yeah, so that's what we're looking at. So total budget at 203, 830, which is less than last year and previous years. All right, do you guys have any questions on that? Do you think I went over and explained it well?
I think it was well said, Karen. This is Mike. And just as you started, the delta is being driven that we're moving from Kathy's full-time, more senior position to more of a part-time decrease. Is that correct? Is that a correct summation?
Correct. And the fact that she's part-time, she's not entitled to benefits and also retirement. She'll be receiving Social Security rather than retirement. So,
Excuse me, I'd like to just also throw out that we currently have $83,000 in retained earnings. And I think we had voted last year that we would spend some of that so we could maintain Kathy's position. Obviously, that's not going to happen. You may want to look at, you know, contributing some of that to the budget, either in one chunk or over the next couple of years. But that is available, and it is above kind of our $50,000 limit of what we would like to have. So that is another option.
Is one of the options available to return money to the towns?
Well, we could do that by decreasing the assessments. So in effect, we would be returning money to the towns.
Hold on. I don't know if I'm muted. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah. The assessment page is the next one we're going to, but the assessments are what they are. We're talking about monies, well, if it's 83,000, then it's $33,000 above what we wanted for maximum in that account. So yeah, we can use it for other things, just to kick the can down the road.
We could reduce the budget.
Or we can return those monies, you know, to the towns in the form of a check.
I don't know if we can do, but we could certainly contribute it to the budget and thereby lowering the assessments to the towns. And that would, in effect be returning it. So what would happen is the total budget would decrease from 203 by whatever amount that you vote to use from retained earnings. And therefore
Yeah.
the splits would change.
I'm an old school guy, and I hate ledger stuff. I remember a couple of times previous to Karen, the former VSO came before our town with a check because they had excess monies. And he visited all the towns and provided them with a check, which went into the general funds. Because what will happen is that next year we'll do the budget and the assessment will go up. And people will start wondering what the heck's going on. So I think it's, in my mind, it's just better to do, if we're going to do something like that, better to do that in just a one-time chunk, and then go forward, because our budget is what it is. That's all, it's just my thoughts, just being an old curmudgeon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the agreement between all the towns says. So I've never done that before, but that's definitely, an option.
And I just wanted to throw that out there as a possibility and something for the board to just to be able to consider when we decide what we're going to be doing.
Well, Doug, just to play devil's advocate, does that mean that every year that, let's say it's $10,000, does that mean that every year the towns are going to look for, that return check? It's,
No,
I think
it doesn't.
the
It doesn't
issue
mean that at
is it's a
all.
one-time, two-time thing.
Did you freeze again? No, Michael, it doesn't mean that. It's just a one-time thing.
Would it,
So if you,
Doug,
what I'm
what-
saying is
would I just
If you de-
curtail the assessment? Karen Summit? Would we do that to curtail the increase for the cities and towns?
Yeah, what you could do is you could take, say you wanted to split $30,000 over 2 years. You would just take 15,000 off the budget for the next 2 years, and therefore the assessment would go down.
Or we could just, there would be no increase. Whatever the increase was, we could use the earnings.
Right, but I understand what Doug is saying. What Doug is saying is that if we drop the budget and the assessments go down, and then the next year they go up, the towns are going to say, oh, well, why is this going up? Is that correct, Doug?
well, absolutely, to make it simple, because it's just, all that is just that we're affecting ledger entries and kicking the can down the road. And so that when that time comes, however long the span is, 1, 2, 3 years, however long, then the assessments go up to account for that X amount of dollars. The towns will question why it's gone up, and it'll be a percentage that they don't like. I've seen it for less. and so I was just recounting is that the previous VSO did visit, I know in Georgetown, and I know because I knew him, I know he did in other towns, that he had checks. They had extra money, and he had checks for each of the towns that they put into their general fund instead of reducing the budget, which is just a salve for a year or two, or however long it takes you to dispense that money. So that's all I was saying. I just think it's easy to account for it in a one-time chunk to the towns and let them feel good. And then we have the budget that has been prepared that this year they're gonna feel good about anyhow. So that's what I was saying. I hope I explained it in a way that was
So-
clear.
In my simple math mind, very simple math mind, what you're saying, Doug, is just keep it all clean, leave the budget alone, leave the assessments alone, and just send a check to each town saying this is a result of excess retained earnings, or however you want to phrase it. And it's basically a fund from that.
Right, right. And it's a good way for Karen to get in front of the boards and also to be there with good news. So that's all.
Would we
But
use
but
all
yes,
the,
Linda, yes to you.
Doug, all the 80,000 or just a portion of it?
Oh, no, that would be because we have excess over what we said we wanted to retain in retained earnings. So it would be that excess over and above the, what's it, 50,000, Karen? That we said we wanted to keep? Yeah, so it would just be the excess.
Okay, I got you.
All right. So talking about assessments go ahead, Linda.
No, I was just gonna interject here. Our minute secretary Eileen is, she got kicked off her internet, so she's trying to reboot.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, so
Should
and you know, we wouldn't have to make a decision on that retained earnings right away. We could do that at any meeting, I think, and move forward, but because I think it would require maybe more discussion. Hopefully we'll be able to meet in person in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we have to do it right tonight, so.
All right.
Oh, we don't need to. So Karen, you want to move on to the assessments?
Yes. Okay. All right.
That was on Excel.
Okay. So every year around this time I contact all the town clerks to get a accurate population count. And so in their response, these are the numbers that I got. So as you can see here, this is the 203, the budget that we just discussed. And this is the new how it's divided up. So it always changes a little. Some people lose some.
Are you able to share that screen, Karen?
Oh, you're not seeing it?
Not on the Zoom meeting. We're still on the
The
budget.
budget.
Huh. All right.
Karen, it looks like you only have 2 documents up.
Screen share. Okay.
Yeah, right now, we're just looking at the budget.
Okay, still just looking at the budget?
Yeah. There you go.
There we
Now
go.
you- Okay, so you see it? Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's FY '23. Like I said, here's the population I got from each of the town clerks. This is the budget that we just discussed. And this is how everything plays out after, taking their, dividing up your assessments. So I think it's probably easiest to go down here. So that way, here's a 5-year budget comparison.
Excuse me, Karen, there's something wrong with your 23 column.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Oh,
Poor Rowley.
all right, let's do this. All right. That's all right. That looks better, right? I think we're
No,
oh, wait.
something's in the
Yeah,
wrong
it's in-
place. Something's in
yeah.
the wrong place because if you look at the towns
Yep.
from above,
Okay. So let's see. All right, so it is Hamilton. Huh. All right.
I think those just need to be moved down one from Hamilton down, right?
Yeah. Remind me tomorrow. Okay. All right, there we go.
and West Newbury's still not correct. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I was looking at the wrong one.
No, it is different.
Was a copy of this sent out?
Yes.
Because I got four different attachments, but this was one of them. So could you please send this out tomorrow?
I
Yeah.
think it came out at the end of last week, right?
Correct.
I thought I printed everything. I got the four in front of me from last week. This isn't one of them.
Yeah, because I got it.
It was on an Excel file and a PDF sheet.
I got balance, I got budget, I got donations, and I got profit and loss.
That was today, I think. That's the one.
Okay, let me go back and check. Hold on.
Or Monday. All right.
It was Monday. It was Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday, but there was another email. I think was it last week?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was like Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go pull out now.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it was Friday, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so basically, so if you look, everyone went down round. So yeah, so Raleigh went down the most, and it's just the numbers game. I think your towns will be happy to hear that, roughly the same, even a little less.
Karen, I think we
Karen-
should check
Karen,
that
that
Raleigh
would-
number. That doesn't
down-
look right to me.
Wow,
I,
plus 1,000 people.
No, I don't think so. We have a
Wait a
new
minute, I
town
thought-
clerk, though.
There's something.
hmm.
Karen Summit, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that that decrease for Raleigh doesn't seem right, because it looks like,
Yeah. Because we have a
Something's wrong, but-
population. That population is not correct.
yeah, we didn't go down 800 people, I don't think.
No. If anything,
Oh.
that might be switched around.
I don't know, Karen, you may have to check with the town clerk in Raleigh again.
Yeah, because that doesn't seem right. Because when I was figuring it out, I thought I came out to about 300 and a difference of an increase of about 300 and almost $400.
Maybe
Okay.
we can, Karen, maybe you and I can take a look at the spreadsheet tomorrow.
That sounds good. And I can also send out the email that I received from the town clerk. So that way we make sure that the population.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, so you guys can take a look at that tomorrow and make whatever adjustments you need.
Yep, sounds good. And then I'll get it back to everyone. All right.
I'm looking at two different computer screens. Okay, so that reflects that $36,000 that you had indicated before, Karen.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, do you have anything else on this? Are there any other questions on this?
No. So, okay.
The only question we really have is the Raleigh population. Is that right?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Because it doesn't look like there's much difference in the other towns from what they had. And nobody
Yeah, I
needs
mean-
West Newbury. So,
Okay, and I can,
okay,
I'll send it out. I don't want to spend the time going
Right.
through the emails.
right. So Bob, are we able to conditionally approve the budget until we get the,
We-
and then when the number comes in from Raleigh, just to be able to plug it in?
Yeah, we can do it conditionally.
So does anybody have any
Yeah.
other questions on this? Then we can
me-
entertain a motion. Yes,
are-
Linda?
Are we comfortable that all of those numbers are right, or is it just Raleigh that,
All right.
Was up?
So, okay, I can send you what I received. All right, I have it here.
I mean, it's looking at the numbers from last year to this year. The only
Mhm.
one that raised the flag was Raleigh.
All right, so,
The rest of them seemed within tolerance.
okay, here. Let me share my screen again.
And you're voting on the amount of the budget. This is just the splits. So I think you would be
Right.
okay
Yeah,
with voting on that.
and I agree with Karen on that. Because it's a total, it's just, the total's not gonna change. It's just
It's the
some
percentage.
some percentages, right?
Okay, so can you guys still see my screen? I have here the
No.
email that I received saying that the population was 5,732.
That's, how do you lose 800,000 people in a year? Especially in a housing boom.
No, if anything, that we went up, but not quite that much. I got a feeling that the 21 budget, the 21 figure is incorrect. Because I thought we were at, Karen Summit, correct me, was it around, we were just about 5,900, 6,000?
That sounds about right. But like I said, we'll just check with Katie tomorrow and, have her look up the last couple of
Okay.
years.
Okay. So we would have a motion to accept the assessments except for Raleigh's and contingent on Raleigh's correction in population.
No, you would accept the budget of $203,780.84.
Okay,
All right.
so I'll accept, well, I can't make the motion. Somebody else has to. I'm the chairman.
All right, I'll make that motion to approve it.
Thank you, Linda.
I'll second it.
We need a roll call vote.
And we lost Eileen temporarily.
Well,
Okay.
Okay, so, roll call vote. Linda Alexson,
Yes.
Bob Snow,
Yes,
Mike Doyle,
Yes,
Michael Flynn. Michael indicated yes, thumbs up, and Doug Dawes, yes. So that motion passes 5-0 for the budget. And then we'll make the changes that need to be made. We'll check the numbers for Raleigh. And
Did you miss
report
Bob
on that.
Janes?
Yeah, I was just about to say, is Bob,
James, I'm sorry, I missed you.
All right, no, I vote in favor.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so 6-0. I stand
Mhm.
corrected.
and I just got word that Eileen is back on, so we have her back.
Okay.
And I just forwarded the email that I got from Katie in regards to the Raleigh population.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've passed this budget conditionally. And then the next item on the agenda is the director's report. Karen, it's all yours.
Okay. All right, so, all right, some of the things that are going on with the office. One of the big things that is happening and not happening is in regards to the bridge dedication to the global war on terror. We are going to have to postpone that. And the reason for that is, it was, it's the state legislation is not too quick. And I called a meeting in January and found out that it was sitting on a desk for the past 6 months. And they just they brought it to the committee and they did their second reading, but they still needed to do a third reading. And so it looks like it's not going to have the third reading until April. We had projected a date of May 21st, and that's just not going to happen. And we don't want to move forward until we have, the bill in hand saying that we got the blessing to go ahead and do this. So that's pretty disappointing. Me and Rich have been working really hard on this, putting a lot of hours, and so that's disappointing. We did have to cancel the second in the speaker series. One, because of COVID, it was in January, so that's when, you know, things were going crazy. And two, Colonel Castles would have been flying in, and the flights and everything being delayed and canceled and stuff like that, we just didn't want to risk it. We'd rather, you know, do it when it makes more sense. In addition, we went before the school committee, Rich and I, because we were talking about having the students do an essay contest. And so the high school committee was really supportive and very excited about it. And, you know, they were like, oh, we can have the AP students, you know, do essays, and we're trying to, you know, do incentives or whatnot. And they said that, you know, they support it and they'll help us navigate it and promote it for us. So that will be exciting. They also said that it would make more sense to do it towards the end of the year, because in like history, it's more, you know, the most recent war. And so they would be learning about it towards the end of the school year. So we agreed, we're taking their lead on that and going by what they say.
Aaron, question for you.
Yes.
So did you, I want to make sure I heard this right. You're talking about this essay contest and the school committee. Did they limit it to AP students
No.
writing the essays?
No, they were, it's definitely not limited, and there was other teachers, and they did want to promote it to all the students. The AP students, there was an AP teacher or instructor on the committee. So that person spoke up very excitedly about it, saying that they were gonna talk to their AP students about it. So it's open to everyone.
okay.
It just happened to be, you know, mention
Okay.
of the AP students.
Okay,
And I'm sorry, Karen,
I just heard it wrong.
Is this for all 7 towns or just Raleigh? I think I missed that part. You cut out when you said which school committee
Thank
you were
you.
talking to.
Oh, I was talking to the Ipswich School Committee. Yep. And
Karen,
Eh,
I'm sorry, do you have
One
any,
other thing, Linda,
Back-
go ahead. Did you have a question?
yeah, I do, thank you. Back to the legislative issues with the bridge. Do you have any idea when that would move? Did you say May is when you expect the next reading?
in April.
April, okay. And then do we know from that point how long it takes?
No, and I think it goes to the governor's desk.
Karen, Linda, can I give you a little background? We had a piece of legislation for the town of Raleigh. It was back in September, and you have to remember that they're not meeting in person in Boston. So we finally got it at the beginning of this, Karen Summit, was the beginning of this month that we finally got that piece of legislation passed?
It was in the middle of January.
Middle of January, so
Yeah.
we're talking 4.5 months. So things are moving very, very slowly on the Hill.
Okay,
And again, it's due to COVID.
Yeah,
So Karen, I might suggest that you speak with the new representative for the Ipswich,
we
Lenny
are,
Mira. Unless you
uh,
already saw him, because you saw him last week, right? Did you mention that to him?
he's actually not the rep, it's Jamie Belcito.
and I've been
For
talking with,
Ipswich?
Yeah,
Till next year.
Oh,
she replaced Brad Hill.
yes, And so I've been and Rich are in constant contact with her, and also Senator Tar. We have had Zoom meetings with them, and I've had phone calls with them. Our next meeting with them is going to be on Tuesday. So yeah, so it's going to be me, Rich, Senator Tar, and Rep. Alcido. In addition,
Karen hasn't had a reading through the Senate.
yeah, so it's gone through the Senate and the House, then it got sent
has
over to the, then it went over to the transportation, and
Right,
then it went back over and they had to read it.
yeah.
And they did that in January, and then it has to go to a third reading, which is in April. So yeah, we asked for a Schoolhouse Rocks kind of explanation of how do you get a bill to go?
It's, right now, it's worse than a root canal,
Yeah.
trying to
it's
get these
awful.
things
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
Thank you for
it just-
clarifying all that, Karen.
Yeah. We also have spoken with General Keefe, who's the Adjutant General of the Massachusetts National Guard. And he has written a letter of support in this, that he, naming it the Global War on Terror Memorial Bridge and what that means. And so he submitted that letter to Senator Tar because it's going through the Senate and everything. And Rep. Alcido is also in on that. And so so General Keefe did that, and also Secretary Poppy also wrote a letter. So we're submitting any sort of evidence possible and support possible to get this done, get this moving. So hopefully, all we can do is keep plugging along, but that May 21st date it's not going to happen. Okay, so
You and Rich, by the way, for all your efforts with this. I know you guys have been really dedicated to it and working really hard for a long time on it. So thank you both.
yeah, I mean, it means a lot to us. I didn't, being a veteran from the global war on terror, I didn't realize how much I needed this. And so, we're just going to keep trying, keep going. So, yeah, hopefully there'll be no more hiccups and we'll be able to get it through. But we really want to have a great event, a nice unveiling ceremony. And I think it's important for both veterans and the community at large to see this through. So, all right. So Karen's been awesome. She's back. It's trial, she's drinking from the fire hose because it's recertification time. And, she's taking it all in. And I'm just so thankful every day that she comes back to work. So I haven't scared her yet. So in regards to training, I have her doing any training available. I actually had someone from DVS come to our office. She spent pretty much the day with us doing the training, and because she's phenomenal. She's an authorizer, and also, like I said, she works for the State Department of Veteran Services. And some of you people might recognize the name. It's Tracy Brown. If you remember Tracy, who started off in this office, and then she got, she moved up to working for the state. So I found it, and I was happy to sit through the training again. I found it very, very helpful. So Karen, how you feel about how things are going?
Other than confusing everyone when they call with our names, I got to come up with a new name, I think, for when I answer the phone. I'm really enjoying it. Tracy's training was great, especially being trained by someone who authorizes it. She kind of gave us some really good insight tips to make sure we have everything complete. I love working with Karen. I feel like a really good team, and I'm really happy and glad I found the job posting. So, and I feel like things are really coming up to speed, and all our recertifications are in. So,
Yes.
and we are getting approvals. So
Yeah.
that's the most
That's why-
important. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a lot of work, but she definitely puts the work in. She goes above and beyond, makes the phone calls to the families and because we don't want to see anybody come off benefits if they're entitled to them and they're just having difficulty, obtaining the paperwork. So we'll help them, get that. Sorry I go on so long. I just want to also mention, so with Chapter 115, for example, so just recently we had 2 people come off of Chapter 115. Each one of them was receiving $1,435 a month. So we work with the veterans and encourage them. That's because they're not working. So encourage them to work, put them on a work plan, things like that. So I'm happy to say that those 2 people, with our encouragement, were able to find employment, therefore coming off of Chapter 115, therefore saving the town all that money. So I just, and the reason why, and I also had another one that I kept working with them for a VA claim, ended up winning an appeal. He got a retro check. And so now he's receiving money from the VA. So again, that takes him off of Chapter 115. So I like to kind of give these examples or remind people, and I know that you guys know and everything, that it's not always the number of Chapter 115 people, because I think sometimes it's like, oh, how many people do you have on Chapter 115? Well, if we don't do this encouragement and this guidance, we would have more people. And so so that's kind of the way that we have to think about it as a whole. So it's great for these veterans that are now employed, and it's great for the town. So that's a couple of success stories. And the last thing I'll say is that I am going to a 2-day training next week. It's going to be run by the Massachusetts Veteran Service Officer Association. We're going to get training from the VA on service-connected disability claims, burial, what else? In attendance, like all of that. So what they do is they have service providers come to the training and brief us and give us tips and tricks and tell us, how to make sure that we fill out a great claim so that way it gets approved and our veterans are taken care of. So it's a very important training, and it's important that we do training all year long. So happy to be able to go. Does anybody have any questions?
Sounds like you've been busy.
Well, what
I might add that regarding the Christmas event that was held with the stockings and all.
Yeah.
That was a really, really nice event that was attended by many veterans. And the fact that there were so many stockings that were filled and everybody got one and there were still leftovers. And so, and then I saw you there, and you and Karen were going to go distribute meals and stockings, right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. It was great. It was a feel-good moment. And when you
Right.
have a job where you deal with a lot of paperwork, it's always great to be able to do something that's just completely, fun and, just it's cool. Another success story is we had a veteran who was in his last semester at Salem State, but he was having problems with transportation. And so was able to work and find a contact who is now driving him to school. so that way he can finish up his classes and get his degree at the end of the semester. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, well, that's everything that's on the agenda. Is there anything else that any of the board members want to bring up before we sign off for the night?
Going forward, we have to, Karen's contract is coming up. It's been 3 years. It's hard to believe.
Already.
And for renewal. And also review. Linda and Mike, you did the review last time. You
Is
did
it
an
that
excellent-
time already? It seems like,
I'm sorry, Linda.
I said, is it that time already? It seems like we just did it.
I know, you're right. So that's the way time goes in the land of COVID where we are. It goes very quickly, and then it goes very slow for other things. So Mike and Linda, would you like to do the review again?
Sure.
Would you? Give me a thumbs up there, Mike. I can't, you're, okay, thank you.
Mike said yes. I read lips.
Okay, all right.
So just following the same process that we've used the last couple of
The
years.
same process we did before. And then, let me see. The contract, I'm trying to think how we did it before, 3 years ago.
Well, everybody did one, turned it into
Well, no, that was the
Linda and Mike.
review, but the
No, that-
contract was different.
Yeah, that was the
Oh.
review we've been doing the last couple of years.
Oh, what did we do with the con?
At the
Well, the
time,
last, I think the last one, wasn't that? Oh, boy, I forget. But I remember Tim Zessen being involved with that, wasn't he?
yes. Let me call Tim, okay? And just,
Okay.
and I'll get in touch with him and I'll handle that portion of it, okay? And
And Karen, if you could send out copies of your contract to the board.
Yep.
So that we all have it, the current contract.
Bob, what do you want to give us for guidance as far as due dates for the review process?
let me see. Let me look at my calendar here. Get my glasses too, so I can see the calendar. Let me see. Hold on one second. Okay. Our next meeting should be Karen, what, about end of April? Before town meeting, correct? We have,
I believe so.
I believe that's when we.
I
we
mean,
had-
it's up to you guys whenever you want to meet.
Okay,
Our town meeting is the 26th of April.
26th of April?
Yeah,
Okay, why don't we plan on a Wednesday, the 20th of April for our next meeting?
okay, that
Okay,
works for me.
all right, and then as we go forward for the review. We should be able to do it very quickly. There's not much happened this year.
Says
What did we
you.
say, the 16th of March? What's the matter?
And not much happened. She's been pretty busy.
Yeah, I know. What I mean is that we haven't been out and about because of the
Oh,
mask.
no. I got you off the hook, Karen.
Right.
Nice recovery, Bob.
So Bob, are you saying the due date to have everything back to you would be March 16th?
No, why don't we, have everything back to me the 6th of April,
Oh, okay. All right.
okay? And then why don't we get things out by the 16th of March? And get everything that'll give you everybody 3 weeks to get everything back. And everything has to be back to you, Linda and Mike, by the 6th of April. Okay?
Okay. All right.
So 3 weeks is plenty of time for all of us, okay? So there'll be no, the dog ate my homework or anything like that, all right? All right.
Big dog though.
He's sound asleep, as you can see over there.
All right, and so I just want to recap with what I owe you guys. So you want a copy of the current contract for me to post the meetings, make sure it gets to the towns and everything, so that way it gets on the website, and send out the September meetings again. And also I just sent everyone in regards to rally population.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, and so I forwarded what I got from Katie, so I just wanted to.
Can you
Okay.
just send me that? I for some reason, I didn't get the town breakdown one. I got
Okay.
all the other things, but it was either my computer aid or just the one that was the towns that the percentage of for each town.
Okay,
Just send that one to me tomorrow.
sure.
And we
Thank
just
you.
want to make sure we get that Raleigh population correct for last
Corrected, yeah.
year and for this year.
Yep.
I don't want to go into town meeting like I did a couple of years ago. Karen Summit remembers that. Okay. I can't think of anything else. Doug, you did a great job as chair tonight. Thank you. Karen, thank you for
Yep.
everything
Thank
tonight.
you.
Anything else from any of the board members?
Yeah, is Karen, are you gonna send out the review forms, or Linda, or who has them?
Linda will do that.
Yeah, I have to look, and I don't know if I'll have to tweak the last year's form to update it to be this year. You know what I mean? I'll have to
Mhm.
look and see what we have for forms.
I'm
So
sure
just-
I have it on my computer, the one we used last time, but I didn't know if we were gonna use a different one or tweaked.
No, we're gonna use
what we
we'll
had.
use the same one we had.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
well,
That's been
same one.
successful, okay?
I'll check our HR department, see if they have a new form or, a revised form for this year. So
All
we
right,
will- put that out next.
okay, anything
We-
else? Nothing else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? With a hand
Aye.
raised,
Roll
aye.
call.
Well, I think we have to do roll
Yeah,
call.
we have to do
To do a
it.
roll call.
Okay, Linda,
Yes.
Mike,
yes.
other Mike. Yes, okay. Doug,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, and myself, aye. So we are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. for
Thank you
Somebody
all.
almost said we are dismissed back in the military. All right, take care.